What happened to King Harris in jail? Oh, you haven't heard? Then get ready, because the leaked video that just surfaced is the kind of scandal that makes the Kardashians' family meetings look like a polite book club. Forget tabloids, forget rumors. This is raw, uncut chaos straight from behind bars, and the internet is already foaming at the mouth. Picture this. The son of hip-hop royalty, T.I. and Tiny's boy, trapped in a jail cell looking less like a future mogul and more like a character straight out of a bad prison documentary on Netflix. The clip is grainy, messy, and explosive, and fans are already breaking it down frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film. Some say he's arguing with other inmates, some swear he's having a meltdown. Others claim this is all a setup, a staged embarrassment meant to humble a kid who thought he was untouchable. Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain. This footage didn't just leak, it detonated. So stay locked in, because what you're about to hear will peel back the bars, expose the secrets, and reveal why this leaked video of King Harris has everyone screaming, tweeting, and losing their minds. The moment the words King Harris and jail collided in the same sentence, the internet practically exploded into fireworks. But when that leaked video hit the timeline, oh, that wasn't fireworks. That was a full-blown nuclear detonation. This wasn't some polished PR release with soft lighting and dramatic violins playing in the background. No, this was raw, grainy, shaky footage that looked like it was recorded on the world's worst Android in a place where Wi-Fi signals go to die. And yet, somehow, it became the hottest thing on every platform within hours. But before we dive into the meltdown that video caused, let's rewind. Who is King Harris? To the uninitiated, he's the son of hip-hop royalty, T.I. and Tiny. We're talking about trap legend meets reality TV queen, a bloodline soaked in celebrity drama, money, and scandal. King Harris grew up with a silver spoon dipped in chaos. From an early age, he was already on the public stage, cracking jokes, flexing bravado, and, let's be honest, sometimes acting like the world was his personal playground. He wasn't just a rapper's kid, he was a walking headline factory. So when whispers started that King Harris was getting into fights, arguing in public, or flexing a little too hard on Instagram, the culture wasn't surprised. It almost felt inevitable. He was a kid raised in a circus of cameras and microphones, and whether he liked it or not, the world was watching every step. Some kids go to prom. King Harris went viral. That's the reality of being hip-hop's next gen. But even with his history of being messy in the spotlight, nothing could prepare fans for the jail video. Let's paint the scene. The leaked clip showed him behind bars, pacing, talking louder than a preacher on Sunday morning, and clashing with what looked like other inmates. It wasn't clear if it was a fight, a meltdown, or both, but the energy was undeniable, chaotic, explosive, and humiliating. One second, he's trying to act tough, puffing his chest out like a rapper in a music video. The next, he's shouting in a way that had fans saying, "This ain't confidence, this is panic." And the internet? They pounced. Social media detectives went CSI mode, analyzing every frame. "Look at his body language," one fan tweeted. "He ain't built for this." Another posted, "This man went from King of Atlanta to inmate number 404 real quick." The memes came faster than a Nicki versus Cardi Twitter war. Within hours, TikTok had dozens of parody skits, actors in orange jumpsuits reenacting the scene, with captions like, "When you thought being T.I.'s son was a get-out-of-jail-free card?" Savage. Doesn't even begin to describe it. But it wasn't. Just random fans who weighed in. The hip-hop blogs smelled blood in the water, and they weren't about to let this one slip. Titles screamed across the internet. "King Harris exposed behind bars. Footage goes viral." From Riches to Rikers, King Harris caught in jail video scandal, the Prince of Trap turns prison meme overnight. Every outlet had a take, every podcaster had a hot mic moment, and every gossip vulture was circling. Here's the wild part. Nobody could even agree on what the video showed. Some said King was checking other inmates, trying to prove he wasn't just a spoiled rich kid. Others swore he was crying out of frustration. And then, of course, there were the conspiracy theorists. This was leaked on purpose. His parents staged it. This is a PR stunt. Yes, because apparently even jail is just another backdrop for celebrity strategy now. Still, the reactions were priceless. Fans who'd been clowning King for his online antics suddenly had ammunition for months. One viral tweet read, "King Harris went from bragging on IG Live to begging for commissary in 4K. Another said, "Imagine being T.I.'s son and still getting locked up." Nepo baby privileges expired quick. It was harsh, it was funny, and it was trending. But not everyone was laughing. Some fans actually expressed concern. They pointed out how young he still is, how fame has clearly twisted his path, and how being raised under a spotlight can be a curse. One Instagram comment read, "This ain't funny. This is a kid raised in chaos, and now he's breaking down in public." That side of the conversation was drowned out by jokes, but it was there, lurking beneath the pile of memes and GIFs. And let's not ignore the parents in this saga, because when your dad is T.I. and your mom is Tiny, the pressure is heavy. Fans immediately dragged them into the discourse. Some blamed T.I., saying he raised King in his own tough guy image, only for reality to crash down. Others aimed at Tiny, saying she let fame raise him instead of family values. Whatever the truth is, the public had their pitchforks ready, and suddenly it wasn't just King Harris trending, it was the whole Harris dynasty. Think about it. We've seen rappers go to jail before. We've seen mugshots, headlines, even full documentaries about life behind bars. But when it's the child of hip-hop royalty, the scandal doesn't just hit, it reverberates. It's like a dynasty crack in real time. If Jay-Z and Beyoncé's kid ever got caught up in a scandal, the world would stop spinning. For King Harris, this was his version of that, except instead of prestige, it was pure embarrassment. The aftermath of the first 24 hours online was wild. Some fans wrote threads claiming King Harris needed to get humbled by this. Others wrote emotional essays about how the prison system swallows young black men, famous or not. The debate spiraled into everything: race, privilege, parenting, hip-hop culture, even generational trauma. That's what scandals do. They stop being about one person and become a mirror for the entire culture. And here's where the sarcasm writes itself. King Harris wanted to be seen as grown, tough, untouchable. Instead, the leaked video turned him into the internet's latest case study in when flexing goes. Wrong. The kid who once declared on IG Live that he wasn't built like other rich kids was now the face of the very chaos he thought he could rise above. The cherry on top? Fans started remixing the footage into music videos. Yes, people literally added trap beats to his jail shouting and uploaded it to TikTok as if it were a freestyle. One version even hit 1 million views in under 12 hours. Imagine being humiliated in jail and then waking up to discover your breakdown is now somebody's ringtone. That's 2025 for you, but the real question wasn't just what happened in that cell. It was who leaked it. That mystery made the scandal even juicier. Some swore it was another inmate trying to score clout. Others pointed fingers at the guards, saying the system sells humiliation for clicks. And the juiciest theory? That someone close to King wanted to expose him. A friend-turned-foe narrative that the internet ran with instantly. No matter who was behind it, the damage was done. The first reaction cemented King Harris not as a future star, but as the internet's newest punchline. His background, his privilege, his celebrity family, it all made the fall harder, the memes louder, and the scandal hotter. And that's just the beginning. Because if the first wave of reactions was this insane, the second wave, celebrity commentary, full-blown outrage, and more leaks, was about to turn this story from viral clip to cultural phenomenon. If the leaked King Harris jail video was the spark, then celebrity reactions were the gasoline. Because once rappers, influencers, and reality stars threw their voices into the storm, the internet stopped treating this as just news and started treating it like a live episode of a reality show that nobody wanted to end. The first big reaction came from none other than Boozy, who wasted no time hopping on Instagram Live like it was his personal courtroom. Man, King Harris don't want no jail time, y'all see it? That boy was hollering like the ice cream truck passed him by. Savage. Absolutely accurate? The internet thought so. Within minutes, clips of Boozy's rant were circulating with captions like, "Judge Boozy has spoken." Fans flooded the comments with laughing emojis, cementing his take as gospel in the streets of social media. Then came Charleston White, the man who never met a scandal he couldn't exploit. He went on YouTube shaking his head saying, "See, I told y'all, that boy's soft. That boy ain't ready for no jail. He's been living like a king, but in there, he's a peasant." Brutal words, but Charleston thrives on controversy like it's oxygen, and his hot take got millions of views in hours. Other celebrities piled on too. A former Love and Hip Hop star tweeted, "This ain't jail, this is humiliation." King Harris just got jumped by reality. Another reality influencer chimed in, "Imagine flexing online just to go viral for crying in jail. Life comes at you fast." And just like that, King Harris wasn't just trending in rap circles, he was trending across the entire entertainment industry. But the memes? Oh, the memes went nuclear. If the first wave was brutal, the second wave was pure art. TikTok creators began stitching King Harris's footage with clips of his past IG lives, creating before versus after edits that showed him bragging tough one second and panicking behind bars the next. One edit captioned, "When you realize your last name won't protect you in jail." Savage doesn't even begin to cover it. Twitter, X, became the meme Olympics. One viral post said, "King Harris went from Prince of Atlanta to Prisoner of Atlanta real quick." Another user joked, "Not King Harris discovering jail is not an Airbnb." Thousands of retweets later, it became the unofficial tagline of the scandal. Someone else edited the footage to look like a trailer for a prison documentary, complete with the Netflix dun-dun sound effect. Honestly, it was better than half the real documentaries out there. Meanwhile, Instagram Reels were dominated by influencers doing skits. One influencer dressed up in an orange jumpsuit, pretending to be King Harris shouting at guards, only to stop mid-rant when they realized commissary doesn't come with Gucci. Another joked, he thought jail was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the spin-off. Fans were laughing, reposting, and adding their own spin, turning humiliation into viral comedy gold. But it wasn't all jokes. Some celebs came to King's defense. A few rappers tweeted that the internet was too harsh, pointing out how young he is and how being raised in the spotlight warps reality. "He ain't built for that life, but none of these kids are," one artist wrote. Another added, "Y'all laughing now? But this is what happens when fame raises your children instead of family." Those takes sparked debate, but let's be real. Compassion rarely goes viral the way mockery does. The outrage side of the internet turned the scandal into a morality play. Threads popped up accusing the system of exploiting celebrity kids for clicks. Others turned it into a parenting debate, with critics dragging T.I. and Tiny saying, "This is what happens when your family is more invested in reality TV than reality." It didn't matter whether those takes were fair. What mattered was that they fueled even more arguments. More clicks, more content, and the pop culture comparisons? Legendary. People compared King Harris's breakdown to Tekashi 6ix9ine's court moment when he sang on Everyone. Others said he looked like a deleted scene from 60 Days In. One tweet joked, "He went from Rich Kid Harris to locked up Lil Timmy in 5 seconds." Fans even threw his dad into the mix, saying, "Imagine being T.I. spitting about trap struggles, only to see your son crying on a jail camera." The irony writes itself. It wasn't just Twitter and TikTok. YouTube became a battlefield. Reaction videos popped up left and right. Podcasters were milking the scandal like it was their personal cash cow. One viral podcaster leaned into the mic and said, "This proves once and for all, you can't inherit street cred. Either you live it or you don't." The clip spread like wildfire, becoming a quote fans repeated all over social media. Then came the parody music. Yes, people literally auto-tuned King Harris's yelling into trap beats. One remix turned his shouting into a hook, and it charted on TikTok's trending sounds overnight. Dances, memes, parody skits, it all blossomed from one leaked clip. Imagine being humiliated in jail and realizing the world just turned your breakdown into a dance challenge. That's 2025 in a nutshell. But the most outrageous twist? Conspiracy theories took the wheel. Fans speculated that the leak wasn't random. It was orchestrated. Some claimed the guards leaked it for money. Others believed rival rappers paid for the footage. And the juiciest theory? That it was leaked by someone inside his own circle, either to humble him or to cash in on his downfall. "This ain't a leak," one viral TikTok said. "This is a setup." Theories piled up like dirty laundry, each one crazier than the last. But they all added fuel to the fire. The scandal got so big, even people outside hip-hop started weighing in. Sports commentators joked about it mid-broadcast. Talk show hosts cracked jokes in their monologues. Late-night comedians added King Harris punchlines to their opening skits. The story had officially transcended rap. It was mainstream humiliation on a global stage. And that's what made the reactions so brutal. The contrast. King Harris had spent months, even years, building an image of being tough, unbothered, and ready to inherit the throne. But one leaked video shattered it all. The internet didn't just roast him, they dismantled his persona piece by piece. Every flex he'd ever made online was thrown back in his face. Every brag became a punchline. Every IG Live clip became a meme. The public outrage and mockery turned the scandal into a cultural lesson. You can't fake the grind. You can't talk like you're built for the streets and then fold in front of a jail camera. The internet has zero mercy, and King Harris learned that in the harshest way possible. And yet, for all the humiliation, the leaked footage didn't kill the story. It made it immortal. Because if there's one thing the internet loves more than a downfall, it's replaying that downfall on loop until it becomes legend. By the end of the week, King Harris wasn't just a kid caught in a scandal. He was a meme, a joke, a cautionary tale, and the centerpiece of the loudest internet debate of the year. And the real kicker? The story was only getting started. After the smoke cleared from the first and second waves of chaos, the internet finally started asking the question that matters most in any scandal. What now? Because leaked footage might trend for a week, memes might last a month, but reputations? Those live forever. And King Harris just learned that the hard way. For King himself, the aftermath is brutal. The jail footage didn't just humiliate him, it rewrote his entire image. This wasn't the confident, cocky Instagram Live Prince of Atlanta flexing about privilege and pedigree. This was a kid caught on camera, stripped of filters, stripped of clout, stripped of the armor his last name gave him. The leaked clip became the new definition of King Harris in the public eye. No matter what he does next, people will replay that video, laughing, mocking, and reminding him that the internet never forgets. And let's talk about his parents. T.I. and Tiny couldn't escape the fallout even if they tried. Fans dragged them into every debate, saying things like, "This is what happens when you raise your kids on fame instead of values." T.I., a man who spent his career rapping about trap life, now has to watch his own son mocked for crying in a jail cell. The irony practically writes itself. Tiny, meanwhile, got accused of spoiling King to the point he thought life was a reality show. Whether those takes are fair doesn't even matter. The internet already decided the Harris family drama was as much entertainment as any VH1 season. The reputational damage didn't stop at the family. King's peers, other celebrity kids, even rappers trying to establish their own street cred, are now forced to answer awkward questions. "Are you the next King Harris?" became the insult lurking in every comment section. And let's not pretend the rap game is forgiving. Once you're labeled soft or fake tough, it sticks harder than Gorilla Glue. The business side of things also got messy. Any hope of King Harris carving out his own lane as a serious artist just got set back a decade. Labels see scandals as opportunities, sure, but they also see liabilities. And no label exec wants to bet millions on an artist who can't survive the internet's ridicule. If King does drop music after this, you already know the comments will be flooded with jail memes, reminding him of the one moment he'd love to erase. But beyond King's personal downfall, the cultural aftermath was even bigger. The scandal turned into a symbol. For some, it was proof that celebrity kids can't fake street credibility. For others, it was proof of how cruel the internet is, turning real human breakdowns into entertainment. The split was sharp. Half the culture laughed, half the culture lectured, and everyone stayed tuned in because the drama was too addictive to ignore. Think about how scandals snowball in the digital age. One clip becomes a meme. That meme spawns 10 more. Then conspiracy theories sprout, podcasts debate, YouTubers react, TikTok creators remix, and suddenly you've got a cultural firestorm that feels unstoppable. That's what happened here. King Harris didn't just have a bad moment, he became the centerpiece of a viral carnival that refused to pack up and go home, and the consequences kept spreading. Old clips of King resurfaced, showing him boasting on IG Lives about being ready for anything and built different. Fans reposted them with captions like, "Ready for anything except jail. Savage." Every flex, every brag, every past moment of cockiness got weaponized against him. It wasn't just the leaked video that defined him, it was the contrast between his past words and his present reality. Meanwhile, critics saw the scandal as a morality tale. They used King as Exhibit A in lectures about privilege, celebrity culture, and the dangers of raising kids in fame's shadow. Social commentators wrote pieces with titles like The Fall of Hip Hops, Nepo Baby, and When Street Cred Meets Reality. King Harris went from aspiring rapper to cultural case study in less than 72 hours. But the internet doesn't run on compassion or fairness. It runs on cliffhangers. And this scandal had one baked right in. Will there be more footage? That was the question on everyone's lips. Fans speculated that more clips might leak, showing what really went down in that cell. Some swore the first video was only part of a bigger story. Others said the guards were sitting on more material, waiting to cash out. Whether true or not, the possibility kept people glued to the drama, refreshing feeds like addicts waiting for their next fix. And here's where the aftermath gets really dangerous. Scandals don't just end, they mutate. Already, rumors were spreading that King Harris might try to redeem himself with music, dropping a track addressing the leaked footage. Some fans joked that he'd drop a jailhouse freestyle. Others said he'd spin the scandal into clout. Because in hip-hop, sometimes humiliation becomes currency. If you can flip the narrative, you can survive. But if you can't, you get buried under the weight of your own downfall. For King, the path forward looks like walking on hot coals. Every step will be judged, every move will be mocked, and every word will be replayed. Even if he redeems himself musically, the ghost of that jail video will follow him forever. It's the kind of clip that becomes cultural shorthand, like crying Jordan or Will Smith slap. It doesn't just trend, it sticks. The bigger consequence, though, is how this scandal reshaped the way people see the Harris family dynasty. T.I. spent years building an empire on music, hustling, and reality TV. Tiny built a brand off her own hustle and motherhood. Together, they turned the Harris name into hip-hop royalty, but one leaked video turned the royal heir into the court jester overnight. And in the brutal world of internet culture, that's worse than jail. It's exile. Still, the culture isn't done with King Harris yet, because scandals in hip-hop don't end with shame, they end with sequels. Fans are already predicting the next twist. Will King clap back online? Will another video leak? Will other rappers diss him in songs? The story isn't finished. It's dangling, pulsing, begging for another headline. And that's the cliffhanger that makes this story irresistible. King Harris went from flexing on Instagram to becoming the internet's favorite punchline. But the saga isn't over. If anything, this leaked video was just the pilot episode of a new season. One where the stakes are higher, the humiliation louder, and the culture even more addicted. Because scandals don't sleep. They reset, they reload, and they return louder than ever. And if you thought King Harris's jail footage was wild, wait until you see what happens next. And there you have it, the leaked jail video that turned King Harris from heir to hip-hop royalty into the internet's favorite late-night joke. One shaky clip, and boom, his reputation reset like a broken iPhone. From flexing on Instagram to crying in a jail cell, the storyline had more twists than a soap opera and more memes than a Super Bowl halftime show. But here's the thing, scandals like this don't fade, they evolve. That video isn't just a headline. It's a meme, a punchline, a cultural tattoo that will haunt every beat, every verse, and every interview King Harris does from here on out. And whether you laughed, raged, or cringed, you couldn't look away. That's the power of scandal. It grabs you by the throat and refuses to let go. So now it's your turn. Drop your hottest takes in the comments. Was this the humbling King Harris desperately needed? Or was it proof the internet is too savage for its own good? Do you think more footage is hiding in the shadows, ready to leak? Or was this the final nail in the coffin of his image? Don't hold back. Let it rip like you're tweeting at 3 a.m. with no filter. And don't forget, smash that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe harder than a rapper clapping back at a diss track. And hit that notification bell like you're banging on a jail cell door, because the next scandal could drop any second and you know you want to be first in line for the chaos. This isn't just news. This is Scandal Spark, where the drama burns brighter, louder, and wilder than anywhere else.